All right, guys, I'm Michael, this is Courtney. Let's take a look at our hinge lift. I want to be really clear, this is a deadlift variation in some circles. I think that starting strength would actually just consider what would just say what we call a hinge lift, they call a deadlift. However, the language of deadlift and the school of thought around deadlift is really, really wide. So I want to be very specific. The way that we coach the hinge lift, the way we execute the hinge lift is intentional. We are trying to maximize the load through the hamstrings, the glutes, the posterior chain of the body, the upper back, holding the bar, the mid back, stabilizing the spine, the low back stabilizing as well. So when we talk about the hinge lift, know that it is called other things by other people, but this is really intentional. So as we dive into some of these cues, these are things that matter so that we can get out of it what we're trying to get out of it. Last note before we get into it. When we want to build the hamstrings, we want to build mass in the hamstrings and the potential for strength, we tend to do that with a stiff-legged deadlift. When we want to then, some people would call it a Romanian deadlift, we want to then take that muscle mass that we've built and we want to be able to optimize and maximize the power and strength that those muscles can deploy into an exercise. That's when we start training the hinge lift, and that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to have Courtney set up over the bar as we would for any deadlift. I'd like to see her shins really close to the bar, and then she's going to reach down and grab the bar. You'll notice that she's going to probably bend her knees a little bit. Courtney has real slack hamstrings and hips. She can move pretty far. Most of us, myself included, need to bend the knees to get there. But now let's take a look at her setup. Her butt is back behind her heels pretty radically. She's gonna pull her shoulders into her spine to keep that bar close. And the last thing I'm gonna ask her to do is push her knees back one more click to make sure hamstrings and glutes are loaded. From here, she's gonna hard grab the bar, pull it, and stand on up. And then quick back down. Every time we go back down from a hinge lift, we want it to be controlled but quick. Don't drop the bar, but you also don't have to lower it. Controlled drop to the floor. Let's go again. Great. Then Courtney, why don't you just stand up for a second. One other thing I want to call out here. When you guys are watching this and you hear Courtney lift, there is a moment of a click. And that click is the bar sitting up into the ring inside the bumper plate. That click means that you have fully lifted the weight of the bar, whether it's 45 pounds or 35 pounds or something else. You have fully lifted the bar into the plates. That click is your permission to then explode. Try to not explode off of the ground. Hearing that click, getting yourself tensed into that click is a really nice way of making sure you're in a good position before you lift. And I think that rule could probably apply for us for a really long time. It's a good way to get safe before we develop power. So I'm gonna have Courtney go for 3 more. I'm gonna shut up. I want you guys to hear the clicks. Great, and we're going quick on the way down. You guys could even be a little bit faster on the down than Courtney's been. There we go. Great. We just don't want to add fatigue from the way down because this lift is about that explosive power off the ground. We'll leave it there, guys. This is the hinge lift. Thanks.